How's the popcorn?
Really good.
Is it mixed or is it just salt or sweet?
It's a mix, which is good. That's what you want.
Congratulations on the film.
Thank you. Thank you
I
so
saw
much.
it yesterday. It's fantastic. And for someone who loves
thank
this
you so much.
franchise, it's great. Watching it and feeling everything, the physicality of it. For you as a filmmaker, what did that add to the experience? And then from hearing audiences' reactions about the fact that that just evokes so much more emotion in our bodies and everything else, what does that mean to you?
I mean, I'm proud that I followed through with what was the whole reason for being for the movie originally. It was like, that was probably the first or second thing I said when I started talking about what would I do with this movie. And I said, like, we gotta go back to the techniques of the first two, you know, to really go back to practical effects. And I think not just Alien, but in general, movies abuse CG, and because on the day things are faster if you just go, okay, we'll do it later in CG, and you don't shoot anything, and and it's someone else's problem. But I think that's lazy filmmaking and doesn't create great things, particularly when it comes to horror, when you need to believe the thing is in there. I think in other things is fine. It's a fantasy. It looks at it's an animation movie. It's fine. But for this, I think it has to be there, you know. And particularly when it's interacting, you know, I have a face hugger in your face, trying to, you know, get something inside your mouth. It's just no way to do that in CG in a believable way, right?
Yeah. I love your version of Evil Dead, or your film of
Thank you.
Evil Dead as well. And obviously that's part of a quote-unquote franchise, or, you know, a property that people love. What are the lessons you learned on that you've taken into this one that kind of helped you bring this one to life?
I think it was the whole bet on that one is like, okay, can we make a movie for a new generation that one know is based on anything, because people that watched that movie at the time that were young, they didn't know it was based on anything. The last Evil Dead was like years before they were even born, so it didn't mean anything. So we need to make it in a way that worked for them, but at the same time, you want to make sure that the fans, the one that really knew the originals, felt like it was for them as well. So that is a tricky thing to navigate, but it's not that complicated at the end of the day. As long as there's nothing in the story that when it's presented to the audience, it's crucial that you have seen the other ones to understand the story from that point on. As long as that doesn't happen, you're good. You know, every story, every movie has a backstory. Even if this was the first one, there's always a backstory that people talk about it, reference to. There's always a past. In this case, that backstory is all the movies you're gonna actually go and watch, right? All that stuff they talk about in Nostromo. Oh, there's a movie, you can go and watch it. And that's what I think is so amazing about it for a new generation. If they watch this and love it and then find out there's other movies that are made about all these things that people are talking about, you know, from Nostromo to, you know, spoil everybody when they say like, you know, that Mr. Whalen died, you know, in search of this thing. Okay, go watch that movie, you know. And that I think is the privilege of making this film. So ideally, but that's what, you know, that's what I learned from that one, that it can work that way, and hopefully this will work in the same way.
Yeah. I have to say, I mean, my time's about to run out. I loved hearing, not a spoiler, but Jerry Goldsmith and James Horner's scores in there. And you've added some nice little notes, which obviously the fans will enjoy. Is there anything that you didn't get in that you wanted to get in without going too spoilers?
In the music or in the movie in general?
Just in the movie in general.
Not really. I think I really did. I made the movie I wanted to make. I you know, I learned in the past, like, nothing worse than making a movie that you go, it's not exactly what I wanted, or like you fall short of what you ambitious, or you just compromise too much at some point, and then you look at the movie and it's not what you want. So at this one, I was like, I gotta make sure I make the movie I want, and you become a bit of a tyrant sometimes in the process of making it. Just make sure that everything you want to see will be there, and you're not gonna leave anything behind. Whatever I didn't include in the movie is because I know, I hope that we can make another one and have to save some of the things that I want to see in an Alien movie for the next one. But I really, you know, I really got it out of my system, everything I want to see in an Alien movie, because I made it as a fan. There was a lot of things that no one was doing on the Alien movies that I was desperate to see, and that's why I made this film, for myself to be able to see as a fan and get a kick out of all the things I love about Alien. Right?
Yeah, well, I did as well, so congrats, thank you so much. Hope you get to make another one.
Thank you.
Thank you. How about?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!